Yo, what's up guys, it's Phantom Brawler here today with the video discussing MVCI. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, aren't you like not getting it? Well, no, I am getting the game and I'm purchasing Dragon Ball Fighters as well. There's something I like to call I don't hop on bandwagons, and I like to have both games at my capability so I can actually have an opinion. But that's beyond the point. Now, what I really want to talk about is what the game has done wrong and what I felt like could have been improved. There's no way that any of these little slight improvements can happen overnight or even now, considering the game is only a month away from release. So I feel like the problems with the game do need to be addressed, and I know that even with me and my shitty microphone and my very small YouTube channel, maybe I can make a difference or at least get a sort of message out there. First off, the game, gameplay wise and aesthetic wise, there's completely nothing wrong with it. The game is actually really fun to play, but looking at it and actually, looking at the roster and all that, that's where the problems lie. I feel like MVCI didn't learn anything from its previous predecessors and didn't try to improve anything besides gameplay, which I kind of can understand with the gameplay wise. Now, the Marvel roster, I'll admit, is bare as fuck, but at least we got new characters. I'm going to start off with the roster before I start off with anything else, because I know that's the big ass elephant in the room. The roster on the Marvel side. Okay, first we need to look at this. They tried to link this game so much with the MCU that it pretty much bans most of the roster, but the MCU doesn't have the X-Men or the Fantastic Four and a couple of other properties that we probably never seen. The thing is that the MCU has a certain amount of characters it can use before it actually doing it. This is why if Spider-Man wasn't in the game, there probably would have been a riot, but at the same time, you'd have to understand that part of Spider-Man still lies with Sony. But here's the thing. When we get more into the focus of the MCU, which by the way, on my other channel, I pretty much somewhat explain the MCU, so please go check out that video, I'll leave it down in the description. Pretty much, the MCU deals work as such. You have, basically Capcom had to pretty much deal with Marvel's bullshit on this part, which is why I don't blame as much at the roster anymore, because Marvel had to sit there and deal with the cards they were dealt with. Now, the one thing I don't get though is why Capcom representative said we are not linked to the MCU, we can use whatever characters we want. Then why aren't you using whatever characters you want? Like Magneto, or Psylocke, or Gambit. Everybody wanted Gambit back. Like, Gambit is my boy. Rogue is my favorite X-Men, so of course I'm gonna be defending her. And overall, it's like, you guys could have used these characters. This is not a rant, but this is me essentially saying what's wrong with the game. It's at the roster, but this is where a lot of anger comes from. MCU, Marvel pretty much is stuck in that division. So, of course, we did get new characters, even though the game just looked like Marvel vs. Capcom without X-Men, because we did get at least, well, Alchemist, we at least got, Gamora, we got, what else? We also got freaking Captain Marvel, and no, those side I understand because they had to link with the MCU as much as possible. But with the Capcom side, I'm like, dude, do you know how many franchises you have? They do not have to all be fighting game franchises or shooters. Like, you have the Onimusha franchise, Breath of Fire, Azura's Wrath, what else? All the characters from Devil May Cry. You could even use DMC characters. You could have used whatever character you wanted from the Capcom side. Hell, you could have used Windjammer character, probably. I think that's SNK though. I could be wrong on that. Don't quote me on that. Please don't write down in the comments that that's not Capcom, because I didn't know. Captain Commando. You could have used the Captain Commando franchise. You could have used so many of your other franchises. Anyone in the Darkstalker series besides Jenna and Morgan. Like, you could have used John Taliban. You could have used Zaraptor. You could have used Anacris again. Because we want to see these characters again. And you chose not to use them. Resident Evil, we could have used most of the Resident Evil 7 characters, like the main person of the family in Resident Evil 7. You could have used Ada Wong from Resident Evil 6 and 4 and 5. You could have used Sheba. But no, you chose to use Chris again. Like, dude, you didn't even include Gio. You could have replaced Chris with Leon. That's what everybody wanted, was Leon in a MVCI game, or MVC game. Dude, you know how awesome it would have been to see Leon in Marvel vs. Capcom 3? My favorite Resident Evil protagonist. I like Nero from Devil May Cry. The main characters from Onimusha. Shantae, because she still counts as a Capcom character. Like, these are major characters you could have been using. Anyone from the Power Stones franchise. Anyone from the Dino Crisis franchise. But you chose to stick with, oh, well, let's keep him on. Like, Spencer? Do you really need Spencer in there again? Do you really need him? Do you really need Firebrand in again? Like, seriously. Arthur. Do you really need Arthur? Like, he was already in a game. Get it. Ghosts and Goblins was a thing. You don't have to keep reminding us and hitting us over the head with that bullshit. Like, seriously. You could have used other Street Fighter characters like E Honda or Guile again. Guile would have felt so right in this game, knowing that Captain America's in there, and the two would have had probably the most interesting dialogue. But, I digress. Let's get off of the roster situation. Now, I want to talk about the art style. Okay, this, I don't know who the fuck who was in charge. I don't know who was in charge. But, let's actually go back. Let's go back to MVC3. When it came to that art style, the reason why people enjoyed it was because A, the dark imagery looked like something straight out of a comic. So the shadows, overly headed shadow, the bright, vibrant colors, the characters popping out. Hell, Deadpool having like panels every time he spoke. And it was like, it made sense because it was like, yo, this shit is lit because it looks like it came from a comic. Like, the characters are right from their comic book counterparts. Now we look at this art style. It's ugly. It's ugly. There's no defending this. There's no defending this. And even as I played through the game, like, even when I played through the demo, I don't know how long the footage I have is, so I'm gonna probably put up multiple pieces of footage showing off the game from different videos. But it's ugly. Like, aesthetically, it doesn't look right, and it's because these characters don't feel right. They look like Contest of Champions, which is a mobile game. Like, what the hell? And I don't know if it was Marvel's choice or if it was Capcom's choice from, like, Uno. Like, the main character, the main artist for from Street Fighter 5 and Marvel's Capcom, you could have done Street Fighter shit. Like, if it looked like Street Fighter 5, despite Street Fighter 5 major flaws, I would have been somewhat okay with that. Because I would have been like, well, it doesn't look like Contest of Champions, at least. It looks like a Capcom game. And there would be no one to blame but Capcom. Like, seriously. And at the same time, it's like, I can deal with that. I can deal with this. This is not that bad. But instead, you choose to go with this really ugly art style that, like, it makes no sense why fucking Chris got that big ass Brock Lesnar neck. Or Captain America looks like fucking he should belong in Toy Story. Nigga looks like Buzz Lightyear. Yeah. This is uncensored me talking, so I'm gonna use profanity. And I know what someone's gonna say. Watch your profanity, but no. It's generally saddening to see. And I look at games that like are made by Arc System Works. And first off, Arc System Works is my second favorite fighting game company. Almost to the top if Capcom keeps fucking up like this. Because Arc System Works, they actually take time and they beautify their video games. Then it comes to Namco Bandai and they do the same thing. They make all of their games look completely beautiful. Then you get to Capcom and they're like, it's better than nothing. Like, that's essentially what they're doing. They're like, it's close enough. I'm like, no, it isn't. It's pretty damn bad. It looks pretty damn bad. But I feel like there's a lot of flaws with this that could easily be fixed, and then probably not. Now, of course, aesthetic and roster-wise, now gameplay-wise, there are some flaws with the gameplay, which is definitely accessibility. Accessibility, I understand, and the reason I'm not gonna harp on this too long is because I understand there are new players out there who try to get into this game. For the new players that are still interested, because the game has such terrible PR right now. Like, dude, y'all should just let us play the E3 build of the game. Because I felt like if we played that, then we wouldn't have such a sour taste from that fucking demo. That demo was awful. But I feel like that the aesthetic-wise of the game, if gameplay was a lot better and a lot smoother, I honestly feel like we would have had a great game. It's like, I feel like when they showed the demo, they shouldn't have showed it that. They should have showed it the 3 build, because from what I'm hearing, that shit was fantastic. But I get my one issue with the accessibility is that they made the game just a tad bit more too easy to pull off these 3-hit combos. But at the same time, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of need to use that sometimes because I suck sometimes in fighting games, especially in MVC sometimes. And I get it, so people can learn how to play the game. But those are all the real issues with the game. Honestly, I feel like people just generally hate on the game because it's like there's so many options out there. And you know what I have to say? Keep on doing it. Because Capcom is gonna see their shit and they're gonna be like, okay, let's keep fixing and improving it. Oh, another thing wrong with the roster. How come all the new characters are locked under a paywall? DLC all characters. Black Panther is locked under a paywall. Sigma, yet Ultron is on the base route. Sigma is DLC. Fix that, Capcom. That should not have been a thing. You guys are already advertising DLC for the game, yet you don't know if it's gonna flop or fail, which it is gonna fail. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm gonna enjoy the hell out of it because I enjoy MVCI and I enjoy fighting games. That's my main thing. So again, if you like this video, please hit me with a like. Dislike it if you want. Don't forget to comment down below on your opinions of this game and how you think it's gonna turn out, because I honestly don't know how it's gonna turn out. Do I still want to play it? Yes, I want to play this. I want to play Dragon Ball FighterZ, and I want to play BlazBlue Cross Battle. Fighting games is gonna go through a whole fucking pandemic, and this channel is gonna go fucking nuts with it. So, yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.